Yo, what's up, guys? So it's a great day. It really is a great day, but it's a great day when it's release day. You have brand new games. We had Assassin's Creed 4, Battlefield 4 today, but it's also a great day when you get stuff fucking early. Yes, this is Killzone Shadowfall. Picked it up just literally 20 minutes ago or something like that. But yeah, GameStop's selling it early, and I have no idea why. I guess there's no embargo on the PS4 launch games. Whenever they get them, they're just going to sell them. But I picked it up today at GameStop, and I need to go over there anyway, and I'm going to explain that in a little bit. But yeah, I picked up the game. My first PS4 game. The console doesn't come out for like another 2 weeks, but who cares, right? I have the game. It's just going to sit there, beautiful, sealed. It's going to sit there next to all my PS3 games. For a size comparison, I'm going to just... Here, we'll grab Injustice. It's the same size as a PS3 case, only it's blue, transparent blue. It doesn't have this little lip thing on the top, but it's literally the same exact case, except maybe the what do you call this? The little indents where you put your finger and open the case are a little bit smaller, not as wide. But that's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. I'm so excited. This game's gonna be sweet. I really think it's gonna be awesome. I've been following up with the development and the developer diaries. This is like, there's going to be so many ways to complete the level. Now there's going to be stealth, and there's going to be destruction like Battlefield in this game. I think this game's going to be really great, and I cannot wait to experience it. Brand new system, brand new controller, 1080p visuals. It's going to be sweet, alright? But I also went over to GameStop today to switch Battlefield 4 over from Xbox One to back to the PlayStation 4. Now, if you haven't been following on Twitter, I was like a stampede on Twitter, alright? The embargo lifted for Battlefield 4 yesterday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, you know, more so, I like Battlefield, I like the series a lot, but I wasn't so interested to see how the game was going to do review-wise, but I was really interested to see how the game was going to look on next-gen systems, because all we've seen is off-screen footage, but we are actually going to see direct feed 1080p footage of both these consoles. Now, a YouTube user, his name is Jack Frags, he does a lot of Battlefield gameplay. You guys, some of you guys might be subscribed to him, but he's a popular YouTube who does FPS gameplay and other games and stuff like that on YouTube and post videos up. He actually posted up Battlefield 4 PlayStation 4 direct feed 1440p. I believe the resolution is 2160 by 1440. That is, but 1440p video on YouTube, and I watched it in complete quality, and the game looked gorgeous. But I'm thinking, all right, I want to see how the Xbox One looks, all right, because there have been reports that 720p and yada 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 yada. But he posted up the Xbox One single-player campaign, and right away I was like, okay, this thing's 720p. You can see with the anti-aliasing and the draw distance, it's 720p native resolution. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, well, it looks good, but I can't handle the jagginess and all that stuff. I'm sorry. That's one of the once you go into PC gaming and stuff, and you go back to consoles, you notice things like that, alright? And whatever, you want to call me a graphics core, whatever, alright? But that bothers me, especially this generation. 720p was always present this generation. These are brand new consoles. It's 2013, almost 2014. They should be able to output games in 1080p, no problem. But it was 720p, and the game did look good, but you could tell, like, the level of detail was much drastically different than what you saw on the PlayStation 4. And then it was confirmed, not only by Jack Frags, but by literally almost every single media outlet and respective journalists out there, that everyone said the PlayStation 4 multiplayer of Battlefield 4 looked better than the Xbox One single player, alright? I got into a huge argument with my best friends yesterday because Digital Foundry made a side-by-side comparison, and you can watch that video, and you'll see like the Xbox One looks somewhat more clear than the PlayStation 4 version, and they're telling me, no, the Xbox One looks better, the Xbox One looks better. And the thing is, I got into this, it was a long, it lasted, the debate literally lasted like an hour and a half. It was a long debate, and we were going like back and forth because the way they saw it was the picture's more clear, and I'm like, but no, look at the more detail on this side. You have to, if it's one thing that PC gaming taught me, it's that I can notice these small details, alright? The PlayStation 4 version runs at a confirmed 900p resolution, that's 1600 by 900 resolution, and it's upscaled to 1080p. All right. The Xbox One version runs at native 720p. It's upscaled to 1080p. You can definitely see that on the Xbox One there is barely. I would go as far to say there is no anti-aliasing whatsoever on the upscaled Xbox One version. But just earlier today, they came out and said that the Xbox One version doesn't have ambient occlusion. It didn't. That's why. That's one of the reasons why the embargo was delayed for the Xbox One version. Like why reviewers can't review the Xbox One version yet. It's because the game doesn't have ambient occlusion. And there's a lot of things like that because definitely the way I'm looking at it is this, all right, and a lot of casual gamers, but also people more console players aren't going to notice the attention to detail moments, all right? And someone like me is. I know the difference between 1080p and 720p. Most people aren't really going to care. They just aren't going to notice that because it's just something that they're not accustomed to really focusing on. A good example, like part of the argument is this, and I had this debate with my best friends. I'm like, this is, what you're basically looking at is a car, okay? A car. And the outside is clean. It's shiny, there's no dents on it, there's no dirt or scuff marks on the paint. It's beautiful, it's been waxed, and there's Armor All on tires. It looks gorgeous, the car. But when you step inside the car, there's like McDonald's wrappers from 2 weeks ago. There's all these receipts everywhere. It smells like shit. And I'm looking at the inside of the car rather than the outside. Because at first glance, you're like, oh, that car is really nice. It's really clean. And you take a little bit peek into it, and it's like, oh, okay, I see. They were complaining that the PlayStation 4 version looked blurred. And that may have been, used because maybe the depth of field was maybe more present on the PS4, but also the motion blur may have been more intensified on the PlayStation 4. At the same time, I'm trying to tell them it's streamed compressed video what you're watching. And what they're doing is they're saying, okay, I'm watching this video on YouTube, make it full screen, and that's exactly how the game's going to look on my TV. No, it's going to look more clear than what you're seeing on a on a window, a streamed video window, because on YouTube compresses everything, like literally down to nothing so they can process it. I don't even know how to, the new YouTube uploader sucks, and a lot of people will upload high quality videos, and YouTube will compress it down as much as they can, so you get a little bit loss of quality there. But you're not going to notice, you will notice in terms of anti-aliasing on the PlayStation 4, if you look off into the distance, there's no jaggeds, you don't have telephone poles with like missing lines and stuff, it's all present. So the field of view is increased, there's anti-aliasing on the environment, because, well, there's also high resolution, which also helps. There's ambient occlusion as well, which means that more objects in the game cast better shadows and more detailed shadows. And that being said, you also have to put in that the frame rate. The frame rate is actually a couple frames higher on the PS4, excuse me. Consistently, it'll drop a little bit on both systems, but the PlayStation 4 has a more consistent frame rate. You also have to put in depth of field, like I said. Depth of field is an effect, just like motion blur. It's all a visual effect. It has nothing to do with, well, the game doesn't look as good, so they put that in. It's just a visual effect. I don't like depth of field in gameplay. When I like it in cutscenes. Cutscenes, it's fine, but in gameplay, not really. Motion blur, I really just don't care for it at all. I've kind of grown a little bit, I don't mind it as much as I used to, but I really just don't think motion blur is something that you know I really want present in a game if I have the choice, of course. That's one of the things I like about PC gaming is you know, I'm almost done with The Witcher 2, which is really good. But I'm playing The Witcher 2, and I turned depth of field off in gameplay, but I turned it on in cutscenes, and I have no motion blur on. I just don't like the motion blur effect. When I'm turning and I'm doing stuff like that, I want to see what's around me. I want to see the detail. And most people turn on motion blur to kind of combat anti-aliasing, and as well as some pop-in and stuff like that. Oh, it's also a frame rate thing as well. But yeah, I'm getting it on PS4, and that's the bottom line. Why? I'm not going to do what I did last generation. I made this very clear on Twitter. This generation, all right, I tried my best to keep my PS3 and my Xbox One games balanced between the two, which means that I would if I would look at a game and I'd be like, all right, I'll get this on PS3. I'd look at another game, I'd say I get this on Xbox 360. And I've always tried to keep all of my game series on the same platform. So I have all the Call of Duties on Xbox 360. I have all the Assassin's Creeds on PS3. Battlefield is all on PS3. What's another series for Xbox that I kept on that platform? The Tom Clancy series. It's all on Xbox 360. And I've tried to keep it balanced between. I think I did a really good job. I have 66 total Xbox games and 57 total PS3 games. I'm not buying anymore. Like, I'm done purchasing current gen games. And you guys are gonna see when I do that video, my game collection video. There's gonna be an equal amount of games for both platforms, excluding the PC, because you know I got into PC gaming pretty much late. But yeah, that. And I said, you know what? Why would I purposely butcher myself on why would I purposely make get the worst version of a game and have a more sufferable experience on one platform when I can just get it on the better platform with no problem? It's like if Assassin's Creed 3 came out, right? Let's go back to Assassin's Creed 3 when that came out. If the Xbox 360 version performed better and looked better, I would just get it immediately on the PS3 regardless of what that said, because I just like having all the Assassin's Creeds on one platform. And you know, that shouldn't be the case. I have the platform, I have the ability to get the better version of the game. I should just get the better version of the game. And not to mention also, Battlefield, you know the sound design at DICE. DICE makes excellent sound design, and I have a surround sound bar here which simulates 5.1 surround sound. Playing Battlefield on that, especially for multiplayer gameplay, hearing the RPG scream past your ear, that's going to be awesome. And that's another thing. I was also searching for the same. I had the PlayStation logo surround sound bar, and I was going to get another one for Xbox One. It's a good sound bar. It's cheap, and it does really deliver good sound quality. But yeah, that's just kind of that was like the whole debate last night, and it went like on and on and on. Finally, he my best friend was just like, you know, I'm done arguing with you, right? I named my sources. I said. I told him why the PS4 version looked better. I gave him 3 sources from various different websites. These are media corporations and respective well-known journalists that all said that the PlayStation 4 version looks better than the Xbox One version. And he's bringing people like from his family to come in, and they're like, he's asking which one looks clearer. Well, of course, the Xbox One looks clearer when it's running when you're not putting in the mindset of there's motion blur, there's no ambient occlusion, there's the depth of field is probably more intensified. You have to think of it that way. I would like to get the game on Xbox One. Why? So I have a third-party game to get on Xbox One. But I will not like I said, I am not going to do what I did this generation and purposely butcher my experience just so I can have it on one platform. It's no big deal. If I have the option to get the better version of the game, then I should just get the better version. It's not like my save data imports into the next game like it's Mass Effect or something. It's not Mass Effect. If it was Mass Effect, then I'd be like, yeah, I would get it on Xbox One because I have all my Mass Effects on Xbox 360, and somehow the game ports over. I don't know. If that was the case, I would get it for that platform, even though it was the worst looking platform, because that is my personal experience. So the bottom line is this. All I had pre-order for Xbox One now is Forza 5. And right now I have Battlefield 4, I had Killzone Shadowfall, and I also have Assassin's Creed 4 pre-ordered on PS4. So when I do pick up those games, whether it be before the console launches or when the console launches, we will be unboxing those games. There's going to be 3 games to unbox, and I'm going to be testing out each of these games. I'm going to be having a good time. And it's also better that I do get Battlefield 4 on a PS4, because I also have friends that are on there, like Vinny Corleone, and I don't know if Zero X Shinobi is getting it. I'm not sure. I think he's still, I don't know if he's still unsure or whatever, but I have no idea if he's getting it. I know the Random Videos is getting it, a good friend of mine. I gotta think, but I have more people. So far, none of the people out of that I know, no one except Archangel Nexus is getting an Xbox One, and I don't know, because he hasn't been on YouTube lately and he's doing other life. So I don't know if I'll be able to even play with him on that platform. But he's the only person I know who's getting an Xbox One, along with me, on release. But I'm just not sure. But that's really why I switched it over. It's a better looking game on that platform. I have a brand new monitor. I have my monitor is actually better than my TV for Xbox 360 as well. I have a surround sound setup, and the game looks better and performs better on the system. It's a no-brainer. Just get it on the better platform. So that's it. I think that I may even go as far to get Call of Duty on the PS4 as well. If it's really native 1080p on PS4, I might as well just get it on that platform. It just makes more sense, you know? So that's it. I wanted to show you guys. I got the game. I can stare at this beautiful blue case. This is exciting, but it's going to stay there next to my PS3 games. Next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, I will be moving all my PS3 games over to the Xbox house so I can have room to place my PS4 games, which is going to be cool. And then sometime this week, alright, sometime this week, I'm going to make a point to actually record the game collection video, because I attempted it last weekend, and an hour and a half of gameplay for it, not even kidding you, an hour and a half of me going through games. I went through 8 games in an hour and a half, and I looked at it and I was like, that's way too long. Imagine that, it'd be like a 40-part series. It'd be like a 10-hour playlist, honestly, if it took me that long to go through 8 games, and I have over 150 games I want to talk about. It's way too long. So I have to think, alright, I have to cut it down a little bit. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to have some gameplay in for you guys. I am also going to be bringing you guys my top 10 most anticipated next generation games. I can't promise when I'll be doing that, but I want to get it out before the PlayStation 4 releases. I doubt it, though. But we'll see. But I'm also going to be doing that. And then the Game of the Year awards, my Video Game Awards, excuse me, are coming January 2nd or 4th of 2014, whenever that Saturday or something is. It's going to come in early 2014. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. And if you guys are getting it on PS4, Battlefield 4 on PS4, congratulations. If you're still, I don't know if you're unsure. Actually, the game came out today, so some of you may even already have it. But I'm getting it on PS4. I have Killzone Shadowfall in my hands. I'm touching it. It's beautiful. It's a nice case. I cannot wait to play this game. And I'll see you guys for whenever. I have like no content planned. Oh, I do really expect to beat Grand Theft Auto 5 next weekend when I am over at the Xbox house. I'm really close. I can feel that I'm really close, and I do expect to completely beat the game. That being said, I don't know if I'm going to have time to jump into the online. I may just jump into the online sometime this winter. But with the Xbox One launch lineup of me just getting Forza and Rise, and depending on how Call of Duty looks on that platform, and depending on that, I might just have 2 games on Xbox One, and you know, because I'm not going to butcher my experience. It just doesn't make any sense. That's it, guys. I'm going to go. This video has been going on for too long. Have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye.